Did you spot these famous faces? And were you left wondering what you just witnessed? Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 WTF movie cameos by Brits. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we've focused on the most unexpected and inexplicable movie cameo appearances by British celebrities, with some blink and you'll miss them roles and lots of cringe acting. Number 10, Chris Martin, Shaun of the Dead. The celebrities were queuing up for cameos in Edgar Wright's Cornetto trilogy, and is it any wonder? In a film like Shaun of the Dead, there's plenty of room for an extra zombie or two. And that's how Coldplay's Chris Martin managed to sneak into the movie, almost unnoticed. As Shaun and Liz stage one last stand against the undead, you can just about spot Chris stumbling around outside the Winchester. Of course, he also popped up on Shaun's telly too, opposite a certain Vernon Kay.
Excited now to have a top band with us talking about their work for the charity Zombie.
Number 9, Ed Sheeran, Bridget Jones's Baby. It's hard to imagine anyone these days not knowing who Ed Sheeran is or what he looks like, but that's the joke for this awkward cameo in Bridget Jones's Baby.
Excuse me? Do you mind if we ask you to take a photo of us?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Ed gets into a fan photo mix-up with Bridget and her best mate when they ask him for a backstage snap, but their wires are clearly crossed.
So you don't want me in the photo at all?
Oh, God, you can lose the attitude, babes.
And the pair only realise their faux pas when Ed's on stage later, performing in front of thousands. Not since his stint in Westeros has an Ed Sheeran cameo caught us so off guard.
Oh my God! I know! It's the guy from Starbucks! That's it!
Number 8, Prince William and Prince Harry. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. If any film series is capable of recruiting members of the royal family for a scene or two, it's Star Wars. It was rumoured for a while that William and Harry would appear in The Last Jedi, and though it seemed improbable, it was eventually confirmed by John Boyega. You'd be forgiven for not noticing the princes though, because they're, well, hidden under some stormtrooper gear, reportedly during the scenes when Finn is captured by Captain Phasma.
So good to have you back.
Number 7, Nick Grimshaw. Absolutely Fabulous, the movie. This film left no celebrity stone unturned when it came to cameo appearances, with more than 60 famous faces featured in one way or another.
We all love you. We love you. We love you.
But more than anyone else, Nick Grimshaw's part in Eddie's dream sequence has got to be one of the most cringeworthy.
Who's DJing?
Dead mice.
Love dead mice.
As Jennifer Saunders' character is whisked away into a fancy room full of models, Grimmy seems more than a little out of place. And not even Kate Moss can distract us from the awkwardness.
You're my most favourite person in the whole world. You have to do my PR. Please, you have to.
Number 6, Richard Branson, Casino Royale. Next, an easy to miss moment as one of Britain's best known entrepreneurs shows up alongside the UK's seminal super spy. Richard Branson reportedly outright asked to be in Casino Royale after he provided the crew with a plane for some last minute filming. It's got to be pretty difficult to say no to Sir Richard, so he wound up in this airport scene, setting off the metal detector. A fully fledged plane for a 3-second cameo seems a fairly lopsided trade, but Branson was over the moon. Number 5, John Hurt, Spaceballs. For one of the more bizarre scenes in his back catalogue, John Hurt reprised his famous role in Alien for the 1980 spoof film Spaceballs. As Kane in Ridley Scott's original, Hurt was at the centre of the iconic chestburster scene.
Oh, God!
So when Spaceballs was made to mock all things sci-fi, they went and created the messy moment right down to the characters' costumes.
Oh no, not again.
But this time around, the alien is all singing and all dancing. Seeing is believing here.
Send me a kiss, my wire. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Number 4, George Harrison, Monty Python's Life of Brian. An essential example of brilliant British comedy, Life of Brian might never have happened at all. The Monty Python movie had a troubled beginning after funding was pulled days before production was due to start. But the Beatles' George Harrison was so desperate to see the film finished that he paid the production costs to get it done. And in return he got to cameo as Mr. Papadopoulos, appearing briefly in this John Cleese scene.
Brian, can I introduce the gentleman who's letting us have the mount on Sunday?
Hello.
Number 3, David Bowie, Zoolander. A stylish one-off, Bowie was no stranger to the spotlight or the silver screen.
If nobody has any objections, I believe I might be of service.
So it's not exactly surprising that he could score a part in a comedy focused on fashion.
Okay, boys, let's go to work.
But the starman singer goes and steals the show for the few scenes that he's in, playing a hard-to-please judge, presiding over the elegant and not so elegant efforts of Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson's characters. And when Stiller gets it wrong, Bowie has the final word.
Disqualified.
Number 2, David Beckham, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. If you're not an actor by trade but you want to star in a movie, it probably helps to be friends with the director.
Bouncing on my knee. Where'd you think I want ya? Hands on the hilt, stupid.
That's seemingly how David Beckham landed a couple of cameos in Guy Ritchie's films, with his role in King Arthur, Legend of the Sword attracting most attention worldwide.
Collect your brand, back on the barge.
Beckham was largely slated for his performance and thick Cockney accent, so this might have been an own goal in his fledgling film career. Then again, the entire movie struggled to score well with most critics. Number 1, Michael Palin, The Witches. Our winner might have passed most moviegoers, but it comes amidst a classic scene. Michael Palin pops up in the background for this Roald Dahl adaptation, cackling alongside the rest of the witches during Bruno's really rather creepy rodent reinvention. In fact, Palin's really easy to miss because he blends in so well, rocking a floral dress and curly wig for the frightening occasion. He's a BAFTA fellow, a CBE, and a one-time president of the Royal Geographic Society. Why shouldn't he be a witch too? Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.